Hey guys, Toby here from Yield Labs. Today I want to give you a bit of an introduction to NEAR protocol. NEAR is a layer 1 blockchain much like Ethereum or Solana and is proof of stake. It has also been recognized as carbon neutral by the South Pole in February 2021, making it a much more sustainable option than other chains such as Bitcoin and Ethereum and these proof of work mineable chains. The team behind NEAR protocol includes some heavy hitters who have experience in working for Microsoft, Google, and have backed some pretty big names in the crypto space too. We've got people such as Arrington XRP Capital and Pantera, just to name a few. These guys mean business. So the network itself does roughly 3,000 transactions per second, and each transaction is about 1 cent in gas, with a finality of roughly around 2 seconds. So as you can see, this is super fast and pretty cheap too. NEAR, the network, has a token. The token itself is called NEAR, easy to remember, and is used for transaction fees, on-chain data storage, governance, and validator rewards. As for the tokenomics, there were 1 billion NEAR tokens created at Genesis, and every single year an additional 5% of the supply is issued as epoch rewards to support the network. Now, of that 5%, 4.5% goes to validators and 0.5% goes to the protocol treasury. There's also a burn mechanism for 70% of the transaction fees. The other 30% are rebated to the dApps that generate the fees themselves. So this all sounds pretty good, right? But what makes NEAR protocol different? Two things really, the ease of use and their sharding approach to scalability. Let's look at the sharding first. If you're not familiar with sharding, sharding is a database partitioning technique employed for scalability. It breaks the entire network down into small shards, enabling the process of more transactions per second. NEAR have called their implementation, their design, Nightshade. Nightshade is different to ETH 2.0's proposed sharding as it will employ dynamic resharding. What this means is that there'll be no real cap on the number of shards in comparison to ETH 2.0's current 64. Currently, NEAR is running on 4 shards with roughly 3,000 transactions per second, but the end goal is to have 100,000 transactions per second when 1 million nodes are live. A bit more about the shards. Each shard has a maximum of 100 validator seats. The cost to become a validator rises as more validators join a shard. This now incentivizes validators to enter newer and smaller shards, decreasing the barrier of entry and helping decentralization and preventing overload of the network. NEAR is built for interoperability. The main protocol is the Aurora Ethereum virtual machine. Aurora is fully interoperable with Ethereum, its wallet and tooling, allowing ETH devs to work within their normal sort of playground, if you will, but the advantage of low-cost transactions and much better, at this point at least, scalability. The Rainbow Bridge on Aurora allows transfers to and from the Ethereum network of ERC20 assets. Another protocol building on NEAR is Octopus. It is a multi-chain interoperability network for launching and running Web3 substrate-based application-specific blockchains, aka app chains. So, app chains that use Octopus can decide how much security they want and how much they're willing to pay for it. They get out-of-the-box interoperability, which includes trustless interactions with NEAR, Ethereum, and any IBC-enabled blockchains. IBC-enabled, Luna, love it, love the connection. We do a lot of Luna stuff here at Yield Labs, and I'm just really excited about this whole inter-blockchain connectivity. It's really, really mind-blowing stuff. So NEAR is user and dev friendly. For devs, contracts can be written using common programming languages like Rust or assembly script. Devs also have huge incentives to build on NEAR. They get 30% of the transaction fees from their dApps. They also have the option of prepaying their gas, meaning that end users can operate in a gasless environment. And, you know, with the state of things on the Ethereum network at the moment, this is anything to reduce gas fees is really cool, in my eyes at least. But perhaps the biggest incentive of all is the $800 million global ecosystem fund that is shared out to teams building on the platform. So again, comparing it to Terra a little bit here, much like Terraform Labs are very involved in the launching and the dynamics of new projects to some extent. This is very similar over on the Near network and Near blockchain too. So for retail, it is much more user-friendly, low fees, typically around 1 cent, and a fast TTF or time to finality of about 2 seconds. Another cool thing about Near is, especially for us retail users, is they have actual readable addresses. So for example, I can have yieldlabs.near. The wallet has all of the main tokens preloaded into it, so you don't need to manually add contract addresses, and you can stake directly from the wallet too. There is also an option to set up and recover accounts via email or by mobile for, again, retail convenience. However, for the security conscious among us, that can be disabled, and I would probably advise doing that because that's not how this works. There is also something called Near Drops, which is kind of a bit like CellPay if you have any experience with Celsius Network and their CFI application. Basically, you can send Near tokens via a link, allowing the recipient to receive them even if they don't have a wallet or an account. And I think that you'll agree with me here, all these little things add up to be quite a big deal when it comes to ease of use, especially for newcomers to this space and, you know, lesser experienced retail users. Because Near is so focused on being user and developer friendly, it has one of the highest growth rates of developers at the moment. Near has loads to be excited about, yet it's only recently seemed to be gaining traction in the crypto space. It's currently ranked number 20 on DeFi Llama with 521 million TVL at the time of recording this video. 392 million of that on Aurora. There's speculation that this is because their marketing isn't great and it's still too centralized. The Near token itself is only available on a few exchanges, making it hard to buy. You'll know as well as I do that we humans are intrinsically lazy, so if something isn't easy to get into, it's most likely that we're not going to bother. The hope is that once more exchanges list the token and more validators follow. In the meantime, Near are looking to increase their validators from 100 to 300 by introducing chunk-only validators in mid-2022. This should dilute staking distribution so that the issue of centralization and collusion can be addressed. At present, becoming a validator is out of reach for most people. You would need $1 million in Near token and the hardware to run a node. No wonder it's pretty centralized, right? But chunk-only producers only need to validate one shard with a much lower hardware requirement, making the barrier to entry a lot more palatable for a lot more people. Circulating supply has tripled in recent months, and token unlocks for early investors and backers unlock steadily. This means that there will be a constant supply of Near making its way onto the market, perhaps suppressing the price, with early investors wanting to sort of recover some of their early investments, or their initial investment at least. For the token price to reflect the awesomeness of the ecosystem, it may take a few years because of this selling pressure. The staking and transaction fee burn will help all of this, but only time will tell. All in all, I'm really excited to see what Near will do in these coming months and years. They are solving scalability while making interoperability a foundation stone of the protocol. Exciting times ahead indeed. Now, I was really excited to go over Near protocol and learn some of its nuances. I think it's really interesting. I think it's definitely one to watch. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I'm going to call it there on today's sort of Near overview. I hope that you found this information informative, and I hope that you've learned something just like I did. And I will catch you in the next one. Stay awesome, guys.